Got Ashton Kutcher in love with Mila Kunis on that 70s show. Then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi Moore, who drained him of all the adrenochrome she can, and apparently he replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with her daughters.
So is Demi Moore in the Diddy tapes, or people might think that that's crazy and weird, but I don't.
Rumor Willis confesses she and her adult siblings still take baths together.
Demi Moore's daughters just revealed the shocking and absolutely bizarre ritual their mom has been making them do for years. All this news, shocking news, sent waves across the internet, leading some people to start digging into Demi's connection to Diddy to find out where this weird ritual came from. So join me today as we look into one of the weirdest stories you will ever hear. And let's finally answer one of the internet's most burning questions. Has Demi Moore been secretly grooming her daughters? Now, as far as controversial celebrities go, Demi Moore is definitely up there. Ever since Diddy got arrested, weird stories about her, Ashton Kutcher have been coming out, and this is by far one of the weirdest. You see, recently, Demi's daughter, Rumor Willis, was a guest on the What in the Willer podcast, and she dropped some seriously shocking information about their family. Rumor, who is now 36, revealed that Demi raised them in a very, very open household. So much so that her and her other adult sisters still take baths together. And not only that, Rumor still sleeps in the same bed as her mom.
I mean, honestly, I hope Lou will still sleep in bed with me when she's my age. I still sleep in bed with my mom.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I think it's weird. We all still take baths together, my sisters and I. And that's just the kind of house that I grew up in.
Right.
People might think that that's crazy and weird, but I don't, because I don't know. I always think about it. Imagine if you took you had a baby gorilla or a dog when it was 2 weeks old, three months old, whatever, and had it sleep in a different room than mom. Like, everyone would look at you like you were crazy.
Now, as far as weird family dynamics go, this is by far one of the weirdest I have ever heard. And I am not alone on this. Just take a look at these reactions from people who were stunned by this news. I could have lived my whole life not knowing this and would have been all the better Holly weird baths together. It's sad that they don't think bathing together is weird. Wow, just wow. So disgusting. Adult daughters taking baths together. Just gross. For those of you who were never in the industry, don't judge. It's just Hollywood, baby. Now, if we are really being honest, Noon is surprised Demi Moore and her daughters are into weird things. I mean, when Demi was 19, she was kissing Philip Tanzini, who was 15 at the time, multiple times on the lips. Oh, and this wasn't just some friendly happy birthday peck either. Demi fully leaned in, and you judge it however you like, but it looked way too intense for people who were just colleagues. Now, this was far from the first encounter of Demi with an extremely younger man. In fact, some might argue it was only the beginning of a pattern. And according to Rumor, this pattern got so bad that it almost annihilated their relationship after she married Ashton Kutcher. You see, right from the beginning of Demi's dating history, red flags were already popping up everywhere. Now, if you didn't know, Demi got her last name Moore from her first husband, Freddie Moore. Freddie, a musician, got married to Demi when he was 29. I mean, that seems well and good until you realize Demi was 17 at the time. She couldn't even vote at the time. Now, the two got married in 1980, and it didn't take long for the 12-year age difference to become an issue. Just over 2 years later, they got separated, and their divorce was finalized in 1985. Now, Demi's first marriage had issues right from the beginning. You see, in her 2019 memoir, Inside Out, Demi admitted to cheating on her husband on the night of her wedding. She wrote, "The night before we got married, instead of working on my vows, I was calling a guy I'd met on a movie set. I snuck out of my own bachelorette party and went to his apartment. Why did I do that? Why didn't I go and see the man I was committing to spend the rest of my life with to express my doubts?" She continued, "Because I couldn't face the fact that I was getting married to distract myself from grieving the death of my father, because I felt there was no room to question what I'd already put in motion. I couldn't get out of the marriage, but I could sabotage it." Now, Demi then had a series of failed relationships until she met Bruce Willis, with whom they welcomed their 3 children together. but sadly their relationship came to an end in what Demi described as an amicable split in her memoir writing. It's a funny thing to say, but I'm very proud of our divorce. I think Bruce was fearful at the beginning that I was going to make our split difficult and that I would express my anger and whatever baggage that I had from our marriage by obstructing his access to the kids, that I'd turn to all of those ploys divorcing couples use as weapons, but I didn't, and neither did he. Now, the drama really began in the early 2000s, as Demi just seemed to be choosing younger and younger men in her different relationships. First, it began with her karate coach, Oliver Whitcomb. Oliver was 8 years younger than Demi when they were seeing each other. Things progressed quickly between the two. They even ended up getting engaged, but the two quickly broke up for unknown reasons. Then came Ashton Kutcher, and that's where the drama began between Demi and her kids. So the two met back in 2003 after they got introduced at a diner party, and one thing led to another, and they ended up tying the knot in 2005. However, their 15-year age gap caused some serious issues, not only in public, but also between Demi and her daughter Gr00m. You see, when Ashton married Demi, he automatically became Gr00m's stepdad. But there was a slight issue with all of this. Turns out Gr00m used to have a huge crush on Ashton. She had it bad for him. We are talking his posters on her wall, daydreaming about their life together. Now things quickly got weird for Gr00m after her mom brought over Ashton to meet the family. I am sure it wasn't easy going from meeting her crush and then finding out her mom is dating him. Now things got weirder after Demi married Ashton. The couple tried to conceive, and this didn't sit well with Gr00m. During her appearance on the Red Table Talk, Gr00m shared how she got increasingly frustrated with her mom for trying to get another baby with Ashton. So much of that time, especially with Ashton, I was so angry because I felt like something that was mine had been taken away. When Demi wanted to have another baby, and then it wasn't happening, and there was so much focus on that, it was like, oh, we're not enough. Gr00m told her mom, "After you had a miscarriage, I literally was just like, why are you so desperate to have another kid? I couldn't stand the idea." Now, Demi's marriage to Ashton had it all, ups and downs, passion, drama, you name it. According to Demi, being with Ashton felt like a do-over for her. It was like she went back in time and experienced what it was like to be young. But she grew a bit too codependent on Ashton and wasn't really surprised by why her daughter took such a strong stance against her relationship with Ashton, because it got to a point where she admitted to being addicted to Ashton. However, Gr00m wasn't the only one who didn't like Demi and Ashton together. Her sister Tallulah was even more strongly against their relationship. Tallulah recalled being really hit hard with their relationship during an interview with Us Weekly, saying, "It was like 2003 and my mom had just started dating Ashton. It was that moment when a lot was going on that I really went inside of myself that did send me into like a total dumpster fire. It was really hard and I'm still unpacking." She also said that she didn't fully understand fame until her mom and Kutcher were together. Now, according to Demi's daughter during this time, they went from having a hands-on mom who handled anything life threw their way to having a mom who was seemingly controlled by whoever she was seeing at the time. This led to Demi's relationship with all her daughters to gradually get more and more strained. It even got to a point where all her kids completely cut her off and stopped talking to her. Back in 2020 during Mother's Day, Tallulah shared a heartfelt post revealing just how bad things got. "I didn't talk to my mom for almost 3 years, and during that shattered time, this day would transport me from fragmented pieces to absolute dust. I remember tearing up driving to work upon hearing a radio ad that cheerily recommended which perfume mom would absolutely adore. I digested the entire celebratory nature of the day as an insensitive slight to my pain and my story." Now, it surely wasn't easy for Tallulah, especially given that she witnessed her mom's struggles with addiction firsthand. During her appearance on the Red Table Talk, she recalled how tough it was for her to watch her mom. It got to a point where she couldn't recognize Demi anymore. It's like the sun went down and like a monster came. I remember there's just the anxiety that would come up in my body when I could sense that her eyes were shutting a little bit more, the way she was speaking, or she would be a lot more affectionate with me if she wasn't sober. She went on to confess, It was very weird, and there were moments where it would get angry. I recall being very upset and kind of treating her like a child and speaking to her like a child. It was not the mom that we had grown up with. Anyways, what do you think about Demi Moore's very bizarre life? Are people crazy for thinking it's weird she sleeps with her adult daughters and they bath together? Let me know your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to check out our previous videos for even more bizarre celebrity drama.